All right. We are checking our live streams, and I think we're just going to jump right into this because I know a lot of you are going to join and watch at different periods. So today is May 1. It is what we love to call May Day. And for me, May Day is a wonderful reminder of the struggle, of people's rights, of the inherent dignity of our people. And so I always bring a lot of joy to my energy on May 1. It's also the start of a beautiful month. For those of you of African descent, you know that Africa Day is on May 25. And so the month of May also brings a lot of pride for those of us with African descendancy, first, second, multi generational descendants of Africans. May is also a wonderful month because it's my birthday month, so we're also entering into a birthday mode. And lastly, and most importantly for myself, in addition to my birthday, it is also Eritrea's Independence Day on May 24. So May brings a lot of good positivity for me. It brings a lot of joy and pride. And also, as a member of the diaspora, it makes me think a lot about our history, our heritage, um, our strength. And I say this with all things, as an Eritrean, as an African, also May Day workers. I just think May is a beautiful month of strength and joy and pride. Now, if you're just joining me live on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and on YouTube, hi everyone. We are on week 2 of our Instagram lives to discuss the Eritrean Diaspora Innovators Summit. If you joined me last week, you got to hear a little bit about my background, my personal story, and you can watch it. It's on our YouTube channels. You can search for it on socials if you can keep up. But I'd love to kind of give you another walkthrough for today around the Eritrean Diaspora Innovators Summit. And then we'll meet again next Thursday, on Thursday, May 8th, to answer any last minute questions. It's going to be the day before the summit begins, and we want to join you right before our big day, our big launch day on Friday, and just touch base with you and answer any last minute questions and make sure you register for it because it isn't an event that you can just drop in on. Okay, so that's why we're doing these conversations. So today I want to share with you a bit of an overview of the Eritrean Diaspora Innovators Summit. And I want you to think about what it is that you're looking for out of this experience because we also love iterative feedback, all right? So before we dive in, let me do the formal welcome. All right, my name is Semhar Araia, and I am the CEO of the Diaspora Academy. I am the daughter of Eritrean immigrants. I'm born and raised in the States. I have lived all over the world in many different countries. Grateful to have the opportunity to see many different parts of the world, and I've gotten to know a lot of Eritreans from all walks of life, here and abroad, and in Eritrea. I did live in Eritrea for 3 years. For those of you that are wondering, I moved back for an incredible lifetime opportunity to do professional work as a lawyer, in my own small way, serving back to the country, giving back to the country, giving back to my people. And I continue to do so in different ways. Um, you can learn so much more about me from our previous live stream, but what I want to tell you today is, as CEO of the Diaspora Academy, my business, my job has always been my focus. It's not even a job, it's like my mission, has always been to support and amplify the role of diaspora communities in shaping policy outcomes. Those of you that know me from way back when, you know that when I returned from Eritrea, we did a lot of organizing for the Eritrean American community in early 2006. It was something we began in 2005, and we had spent months organizing and campaigning. I'm the daughter of not only Eritrean immigrants, I'm the daughter of advocates and activists. And those of you in the community remember my family's involvement in a lot of different moments in our history. So it's just an honor to find another way to use what I believe is my mission into my work. And I started my own company a few years ago. I started it in 2023, but I have done it many times before. I have also run nonprofits. I have done community work. I have kind of seen all the different ways that we can use our time, talents, and treasuring to give back. So the Diaspora Academy is is my business that I do two things. I support diaspora communities by trainings, courses, workshops, guidance, advice, partnerships. You know, I've worked with a lot of African, Arab, Asian diasporas. I have just really come to love this space. But nothing brings me more joy than being able to do this with my community. So for the Diaspora Academy, we are hosting a summit as a part of our mission. You can learn more about the business, the company at thediasporaacademy.com. It is a place for you to learn and grow. It is a place that is always evolving. So I also have an open door to ideas, to partnerships, collaborations, all things, okay? That being said, I want to now tell you a little bit about the Eritrean Diaspora Innovators Summit, what the program looks like, what the format looks like, and help you prepare so you can make the most of May 9 and May 10 when we go live, and so you can enjoy it afterwards. Now, first of all, this event is virtual. It is online. And as much as I love doing things in person, and I would love to have this summit be in person, I know that there are so many of us around the world who are living in cities and states and countries where the community may not be as strong, connected, visible, active. And there's a lot of second gens who feel not as connected as they'd like to be. There's a lot of you on the socials, I know, and you're living your life and you're doing your thing. You are running, working, supporting, building, all these things, right? And I know for second gens, a lot of our experiences as Eritreans is becoming purely digital. Of course, we want to bring that back and make it physical again, but we got to meet you where you are. So whether you're in your dorm room, you're in your home, you're in your car, you're on the job, you're on the go, wherever you are, you for sure have your phone with you. So we want you to be able to log in wherever you are. We also want you to be able to find each other and connect that way. So making it digital allows each of you to network with each other, and I'll talk a little bit more about the program's platform. Secondly, it's a virtual experience that is happening on the end of the week. You know, most of us have work or school or commitments on Friday that, on work days for many of us, that keep us very busy. But we also know maybe you can get away a little bit, or maybe you have a flexible schedule. So we want to make sure that we catch you at the end of your work week to give you a bit of a jump. We also are meeting you on a Saturday because we know that that is oftentimes when community really gets together. So we want to invite you for this community. Now, let me tell you why we did not do it on a Saturday and a Sunday. A weekend is perfect for this kind of summit, but you know our community, you know our lives, and you're either as an Eritrean doing something for the community on a Sunday. You're either, if you're Christian, you're at a church, or you're doing something related to your community organization, maybe faith-based, or you might be at your family's house, right? And if it's neither of those and you're Eritrean, you are most likely dealing with life, your errands, your things to do. So we wanted to keep Sunday as like a free day. But I know that this is not going to be easy for some of you to join us on a Friday and Saturday, which is why we have made it recorded. And the summit is going to be recorded for anyone who registers. It will not be made available to people who did not register for the event. And that is because in our efforts to build community, we want you to know that this is a place for you to be a part of, and we can continue growing together. But it isn't the same experience when we just open it up and let everyone be a part of it after the fact. There's a space of trust. There's a space of sisterhood and brotherhood. There's a space of community that we believe needs investment. It needs your time, and it needs your registration to save your spot. And it also needs the room for conversations to happen in a trusted space, because there will be conversations. Now, I'm just checking to see if I am live, okay? Hey, everyone. I'm checking, and I'm going to pause for a minute if you don't mind, and just bear with me. I want to make sure if I can go live again. Oh, I don't think I can. All right. Let me see. Yeah, I think it just ended, but I'm going to go back on there. Can you guys pause for a minute, and we'll clip this out. So don't worry, if you're watching this, you won't see this part later. Thank you both. Yeah, I'm getting messages that we might have just lost the connection, and it's okay. All right. Ta-da. Public. Next. Okay. And you are also watching this live. Great. So we're now going to, give me a second. I got an idea. Some of you are going to get a different view if you're on Instagram. All right. Ta-da. This is why we have multiple things. All right. There. All right. So I'm gonna do, you see that? Do you see what that is? That's the camera. That's my phone. Hi, everyone. You know, I think we just did a live on Insta and we might have lost you. So I'm inviting you back. The problem with doing multiple things, multiple streams, is some of the connections don't work the same. But hey, welcome to our real life. All right, friends. So with our program and the goals that we have, the goals being, hi everyone, hi on Insta. Yeah, I know. You're gonna be over here, okay? That works. So with the goals of our Instagram, of our Eritrean Diaspora Innovators Summit, I'm sorry, you guys. With the goals of our Eritrean Diaspora Innovators Summit, really fostering community, we would rather have an event that is exclusive in the sense of building community with each other in the live moment. So we want you to have the chance to log in and see each other and connect and speak. Hi, you guys. Welcome to Insta. I'm going to speak to you guys on Insta on this camera as well, because you're going to hear it later as well. So the format for the Eritrean Diaspora Innovators Summit is a live session that's recorded. And by it being virtual, you'll have the opportunity to chat with each other. You'll have the opportunity to ask questions to us in the moment. You'll have the opportunity to ask questions to the speakers. And you'll have an opportunity to find each other when you are at the summit. So at the summit, you know, you can look at who's in the room and DM them. You can read their bios. I mean, you guys are going to have like a full thing where you enter your name. You say, hi, I'm Semhar Araia. I'm CEO of the Diaspora Academy, and this is what I'm looking for. And it kind of allows you to just do peer-to-peer networking in the moment, okay? So we're not asking you to come and be a passive viewer. We're asking you to come and share, think about what you're looking for, and find each other in the moment. The second thing, the reason it's recorded and virtual and with this network, is because when the recording is done and when the summit is finished, you will all be a part of an exclusive community that allows you to connect with each other again in the Diaspora Academy space. All right. So we're asking for you to be a part of this summit because we see it as an opening, a door opening for you to connect with each other and to learn more about each other. Right. You're not just coming to watch people speak. So that's a little bit about the background around why it is virtual, why it's on a Friday and Saturday, and why it's recorded. And lastly, why there's registration. So registration closes on May 9. You are not able to join the conference once it's started. We need you to register before May 9. Last day to register is May 8. And, you know, I know it's out of the ordinary for us because we're so used to, come on in, it's okay. But we really want to run a tight ship for you and give you an experience on Friday and Saturday that works. So registration closes on Thursday, May 8th. That's next week. We have 1 week. And with that registration, you can log in on Friday and Saturday, or you can register now and watch it whenever you want. All right? That's what we want you to really understand is this isn't just a one-time event that's happening and you'll never hear about it again. It's available to you whenever you want to watch it, but you have to register. So that's what we're asking you for. Hi, everyone on Instagram. All right, so with registration, I want to remind you there's 2 levels. One of them is changing today, May 1. So the 2 levels are the HSBI general ticket, which gives you everything I just discussed, the live access, the recordings. You get to be a part of this community when it's over. And that is really meant to just ensure you're there and you can enjoy it afterwards. But the other level, which we really, really love, is the Jigna level. And the Jigna level is sort of my sort of offering to you to invest in yourself. In addition to all of that, you're also getting with the access to the summit and the recordings and the network, you're also getting a coaching session with me on your professional development, or maybe your personal development issues, your skill sets, your questions, your desires, right? I can help you walk through sort of a diaspora leadership, a professional development, and yes, even a personal development issue. I am not clearly positioned to be your therapist. I'm not a medical professional. I'm not able to help you in the social services space, but I am able to help you in understanding what skills you want to focus on for leadership, for positive impact, for community collaboration. This is what we do at the Diaspora Academy. And if you're thinking of doing something from a professional standpoint, or you want to navigate something professionally, I'm definitely here for you on that. So you get a coaching session with me, a 1-hour coaching session. That coaching session is actually what I charge my clients is more than the summit. So you're getting the coaching as an add-on, which I really want you to consider taking advantage of. And you're also getting toolkits. So we're giving you resources with the JIGNA registration as well. You're going to get a diaspora leadership roadmap. You're going to get a diaspora philanthropy and giving toolkit, because that is part of what we're going to be discussing and sharing with you. And you're going to get a leadership in the workplace toolkit, which if I tell you guys what it is now, I think you're just going to want to register. So the toolkit is called Breaking from Sinasrat, Eritrean Diaspora Leadership in the Workplace. And if you get what I just said, if you get what breaking from Sinasrat means, this is why we're doing the summit, because there are elements of your own life where your bicultural identity as a second gen, they don't conflict, but they're not fully aligned yet, right? Sinasrat as an Eritrean and leadership in the Western sort of ecosystem. I'm not saying leadership as Westerners. I'm saying leadership in the Western diaspora, right? That is something we all navigate. So want you to have those toolkits. I want to offer you this coaching session, but JIGNA registration changes today. It's $97. It'll go up to $120. It goes up to $120 tomorrow. So today's your last day to get the early bird pricing. Okay, that's registration. Now, let me go through with you a little bit about the program, and you'll see some more details about the program on our website. It's going up tomorrow, but I want you to first hear it today. The summit is structured to address 4 themes: diaspora leadership, professional development, mental health and wellness, and community collaboration. And those 4 themes are intertwined. They are connected. And the diaspora leadership element is, what I do, what I work on the most. That's going to kick off the summit. And we're going to invite you to start your day by learning about how your diaspora journey as a second gen, or if you're a second gen, by the way, when we say that, we mean children of immigrants. It also does include immigrants who came at a formative year. It can. We call those really 1.5s. But a first generationer, in many respects, is an immigrant, is that first generation to arrive. And that first generation has an experience that is very unique to a first generation journey as immigrants. Yes, part of it is legal status and paperwork and having this status that you're managing. But the first generation experience is so important to honor and to acknowledge, and that it has its own unique needs, that we know when you're a child of immigrants born abroad or raised abroad, even if you're a 1.5, as I shared, your experience as a second gen is also unique. And so that's what the summit is focusing on the most, is second gen. But we want you to start Friday with an examination of your own diaspora journey as a second gen. Okay? First gens are going to learn a lot. If you join us, you're going to hear a lot of elements that also share a touch on your experience, but I just want you to be prepared. Now, you're probably saying, I'm born abroad. What diaspora journey are you talking about? Ta-da! That's why I do the Diaspora Academy, because as second gens and multi-generationals, we too have a diasporic linkage, okay? Diaspora does not mean immigrant, but the journey that you've gone through, regardless of where you were born, is partly inherited by the stories and the beauty of the culture that you are preserving and being a part of. And some of those elements of your diaspora identity do need to be unpacked and assessed. And it's very personal. So when we talk on Friday, I'm going to walk you through a framework that helps you kind of assess how is your diaspora experience and your journey. and your inherited narratives. And yes, even your trauma, because trauma is part of the diaspora experience. How has that shaped how you show up in the world? And Sanasrat is a part of that, which Sanasrat to me is the most beautiful thing ever. But I do understand now how Sanasrat shows up in the workplace and how Sanasrat shows up in our diaspora life does shape how we behave and make decisions for our second gen lives. So we're going to unpack that. So Friday morning, we're going to have this diaspora leadership breakdown. We're also going to talk about your mabrahti moment, how you get there, what questions you need to ask yourself to get that aha, unlocked, bright moment for yourself. Okay? That's the afternoon. That's the morning, rather. Then we pivot and we start engaging with all of our wonderful speakers. And we are kicking off Friday with one of the most incredible visionary Eritrean diaspora leaders that I have enjoyed working with, Almaz Nagash. Almaz Nagash is the founder of the African Diaspora Network. And she's really going to share with you sort of her inspiration and the essential tools for leadership that she's learned along the way. And it's really an opportunity for you to ask her questions and learn from her and think about what would you want to ask someone like Almaz. Then we dive into our afternoon session. Now, the afternoon session is interesting because we pivot from leadership into professional development, how I did it. This is what I did to figure out my path from extremely trailblazing pioneers and second gen diasporas who are really building their own sort of paths. And that's what I want you to explore and hear is some took a traditional route and pivoted. Some said, I really don't need this. I'm actually going to go this way. Some had said, I'm going to take a risk. I have a path that I've worked hard to build, but I'm going to just take a chance on this. And it actually worked a lot better. The other elements of the afternoon, in addition to kicking off with Almaz, we will focus on, first of all, the best part of the afternoon for me that it makes me so excited is we are having an intergenerational conversation, a mother and daughter conversation, a parent and child conversation around the journey and path that Delina Medhin went on. And Delina Medhin, for those of you that don't know, is an extremely accomplished, incredible beauty artist, a podcast host. She's just an all-around creative and a businesswoman. But her journey as in her second generation path with her family, we're gonna dive into that a little bit to kick things off on Friday afternoon. Then we'll have a successive series of conversations with trailblazers in tech, in the arts, in philanthropy, in organizing, all of them kind of showcasing how they did it, right? Now, Friday is your day for diaspora leadership and professional development. It is sort of the day to kick off how I did it and what we need, what you should do, kind of lessons learned and questions to ask, right? Saturday, we shift, taking everything you learned on Friday about yourself, about your journey, and about ways that you too can make an impact. I want you to now come Saturday prepared to think about what you need to become that incredible leader you already are. You just haven't unlocked it. And some of you have, and you want to make it even. In the morning, we're going to talk about mental health and wellness. And we're going to talk about the importance of prioritizing you, your needs, and how to balance the expectations that you have from others or the expectations maybe you put on yourself that you have to do for other people. And that is very much a part of our culture as a caring, communal culture. We take care of each other. But sometimes in the West and in the diaspora broadly, you have to have a skill set of how to navigate your needs as well and take care of your needs. So we're going to talk about mental health. We're going to talk about trauma-informed approaches to your own self-care. We're going to talk about the importance of rest and wellness. And so Dr. Jakob Tekye and Ruthie Samete will also be joining us for these conversations in the morning. And why are we doing that? Because we know that you feel pulled to focus on yourself, but you have so many commitments to things that are outside of you or that are a part of you. And getting that skill set to say, here's my boundary, here's what I need, or simply no, it is possible. It is necessary sometimes. There is a way to do no as an Eritrean that is respectful, that is within how we value each other in our culture. And there is a way to show love and share love without you giving more of yourself than you can. All right, so once we've had that kind of refreshing morning on all things about your wellness, Then we dive into community collaboration, and we dive into it to really unpack what innovative approaches to community collaboration look like. And innovative approaches to community collaboration means a couple things. One, it means what are you doing in your respective community, whether that's Eritrean, whether that's diaspora, however you define community. What are you doing, or what can you do within your community to create a space you wish existed? And you're going to hear from nonprofit leaders who have formed diaspora organizations or who have been a part of diaspora organizations, and they can share how they built and created that space for addressing something in this case, the Eritrean diaspora community, right? So you're going to hear from Eritrean Diaspora Network, the Eritrean Youth and Mentorship Program, and the Sela Language School, which is based out in Los Angeles, which has really approached offering language school in a very innovative way. There are language schools all over the country. There's so many examples, but these are the ones we're featuring just for this conversation. And believe me, EDIS, this isn't only happening once. So before you say, what about this org and what about this org? Bring them on. We are going to do this again and again. EDIS will happen in the future. So community collaboration is really like, how do you create the spaces you wish existed? But also, what kinds of collaboration should we be considering that we don't always consider? Like, what does strategic partnerships look like? What does it mean to collaborate with other communities? Or how are we a part of a bigger community, right? How does the Eritrean diaspora community show up and build partnerships? There's also lessons that those nonprofit leaders will share, but its conversations will also share around showing up as an organization. Maybe you're showing up as a storyteller. Maybe you're showing up to preserve our heritage, right? So community collaboration could mean that you are a filmmaker creating the most incredible science fiction story related to Eritrea that is purely fiction, right? Because we're being creative. And that is a form of collaboration that allows people a window into the minds and hearts and dreams of Eritrean diasporas, and helps Eritrean diasporas unpack their imagination and understanding what's possible. We're also going to have conversations with another storyteller, Martha Haile, who is the CEO of Abzi Africa, based in Nairobi, Kenya. And Martha Haile, as an Eritrean American, moved to Kenya. And so even that diaspora, that second generation experience of being raised abroad and choosing to move to the continent, choosing to move abroad again, is phenomenal. But then to do so and build an entity that is all about storytelling, I think is phenomenal. So these are some of the panelists that I'm just sharing with you. There's a full list on our website if you go to meet our speakers. So over the 2 days, you're gonna unpack your own journey and your own aspects of leadership that you want to build on. You're gonna learn from incredible examples of entrepreneurs, creatives, fearless trailblazers. I mean, first of all, we're all fearless. We all have some level of fear, but we manage the fear in a unique way. Okay, we go head on into it, and I think that's one of the lessons we're going to touch on throughout the summit. And then on Saturday, you're going to look at what it means to be an innovator, a trailblazer, a change maker, a diaspora like impactful person. Requires you to prioritize self-care, mental health, and wellness, and it requires you to think of community collaboration in a very thoughtful way. It's thoughtful, strategic, long-term, innovative. Okay, so that's my walkthrough, right? I want you to join us again for our next live stream, and we'll correct the streaming for the platforms that didn't get through. You're going to have this replay available for you, so you're watching it as a replay, but I apologize if you joined live. I'm just glad that we have this opportunity to share with you. I want you to make sure you register for EDIS. It's www.edis2025.com. That's EDIS 2025. And make sure you get the JIGNA registration ticket today, that you still have early bird pricing until the end of today, May 1. Tomorrow, the price goes up for the JIGNA experience. And don't forget, with the JIGNA experience, you get a coaching session, you get toolkits, you get resources, and you get lifetime access and discount to all of the Diaspora Academy's trainings. So I want you to be prepared for next week. Come in with your thoughts, your questions, and you'll hear from me more. But our third and final live will be next Thursday, May 8 at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's really sort of the last minute final. What are you thinking about? What questions do you have? And what would you like to see? Because we're also very iterative, right? I want to thank you for joining us. I want to thank you for being a part of my community over the years, the community, the Eritrean community that I've been a part of. I feel so grateful to be just a part of it as family. I also want to thank you for riding this journey with us at the Diaspora Academy and being so celebratory and excited about EDIS. I should say, like, our socials are going crazy. The Instagram family, you guys have been amazing. I think everybody on Facebook and TikTok is just kind of shocked and surprised and loving it. And I love sharing this idea with you, but I really appreciate all the feedback and all the support. So we'll see you next week, Thursday, May 8 at 1 p.m. And then register for the summit on Friday, May 9 and Saturday, May 10. Don't forget, registration closes on May 8, so you have to get your ticket before the summit. All right, take care, everyone. Hit me up, send me a DM, send me a message if you have questions, and we will see you soon. Bye, everyone.